So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are all tied up 1-1. We are going to be getting into our next game here, and it's AshenOne versus Septimus to get our second Masters game done and dusted. This is going to be a fun one, though, because I believe this is going to be a good time for me to check out what Septimus is up to, able to win against Philippines there by default. Unfortunately, AshenOne, in the meantime, he's going to be repping that Protoss, and, PVT again. Gonna be pretty much something we will see quite a lot in this set. It's interesting to see, Vietnam have so many of these Protoss players because it has been on the up and up alongside, has Justice Simon really bringing in a bit of that resurgence there. In the meantime, for Malaysia, as we said before, Terran and Protoss, no Zerg whatsoever. Pretty much a race that they kind of forgot about, but it is what it is, and they have been doing a pretty good job so far in what they have overall. So, it seems like, though, we are ready to go into this game. It will be another bout between these two countries, Malaysia versus Vietnam, in a TVP. Game number 3 out of 7, and everything all tied up. It's time right now to see who's going to be getting the victory. It's time to see who will have the dream bout as we go into Everdream, as we get into this next game. Ugh. Already, we start things off, and I love the naming convention there. So, a little bit of a head scratcher. How do we intro this? How do we intro this? Okay, no worries. So, hello guys, welcome back. This is game number 3 out of 7 in our Malaysia versus Vietnam battle. And introducing first, here on the top right, representing Vietnam, part of the BOA crew, he is on that Protoss looking for some redemption. It is AshenOne. So AshenOne yesterday, not really having the best day. Leo Rusher just able to manhandle him in that game, but he's looking for redemption, looking to represent, and maybe he can get the advantage here for the side of Vietnam. But on the other side, no defaults anymore. And on the Malaysian side, what a great name already. You may see him as You Got Small PP. That's a good name. That's a great name. That's a wonderful name. Maybe that should be your official name. But his name is on the dots, on that line. It is our yellow Terran, Septimus. So here we go, guys. As we said, best of 7. Malaysia on the yellow side, Vietnam on the red. And we are good to go to get into another battle. TVP matchup, AshenOne already expanding, as well as Mr. You Got Small PP. So we'll call him Septimus. I'm gonna try my best to call him Septimus the whole time, because this is a name that we shouldn't say too much, except maybe once or twice. But triple rack setup into the command center. We see this quite often against Protoss, actually. The triple rack setup rather than going for the 1-1-1, because you do have a good way to get a critical mass of units. And the fact of the matter is, the Protoss does have a hard time dealing a lot of Marines with all the upgrades and then early parts. If they cannot get their Colossi in time, they cannot get their high temp Psystorm in time, they cannot get some good disruptor hits. Those are really the issues there, and maybe we can see Septimus take advantage and go for the push. A bunker rush wouldn't be surprising whatsoever as well. But here we go now. We will have AshenOne looking to patrol with the Adepts. The Adepts, of course, are a good unit against a good number of Marines, but it really depends on how many there are. It's all about the shots, though, and of course, without the Comet Shield, they're easier to take down, that's for sure. And for some reason, guys, Marines, why are you queued up on the refinery? Marines, you guys got guns, not drills. Don't need to get that gas. You don't even need gas. Why are there Marines here? But, Septimus, at the very least, it's his way to get Stimp back on at an early art. 3:28 on the clock so far. So really, really early right there from the side of our Terran. I really wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the push at all. Though the Marine right now getting scouting on, looking to find maybe a proxy pylon or 2. But AshenOne in the meantime playing pretty standard, looking to just keep at it at home. And speaking of at home, it's a Stargate here from AshenOne. Stargate opening with the Phoenix into play. And I gotta say here for AshenOne, I feel a little scared to see him go for Phoenix right now, because these are a good number of Marines into play. The Phoenix won't really be doing too much. If you Graviton beat 1, all the other Marines will get that takedown. And maybe, just maybe, it's all about being pesky, to say the least. But then, you know, there's a lots of conundrums in a matchup like this as the adept will fall on down. The one Marine with 1 HP and a Dream gonna be getting those shots on eventually to get that kill. But here we go right now with the pylon and the shield battery as AshenOne. What's happening here? Oh, what's happening here? Our observer is disappearing in front of our eyes. Internet issues yet again for Mr. Mizzle. Oh no. Oh no. That's all I gotta say. Oh no. Oh no indeed. Mr. Mizzle, where did you go? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in this game if we actually disconnect? But so far, I gotta say our Terran is looking pretty scary. I gotta say, it's looking pretty scary. AshenOne though, I do like his Fortress of Solitude basically. I do love his setup right now. And he's looking pretty prim and proper in a way to just go the long haul and continue on in a set like this. He has all those warp gates right now to get the blockade on. And at the very least, he's ready with a battery to go for the overcharge. But as he's seen already, there's a lot of Marines and yeah, drop. Yep, there we go. That's the drop. And we are gonna be the host instead. So it is what it is. Don't worry, Missile. We will continue on with the show as this is gonna be time right now for Mr. Septimus to bring things out to the other side. But oh my, 2 Phoenixes right now into play. AshenOne gets a lift up, and that's what this is all about. Now, I was a little skeptical, of course, but you know what? The thing about the Phoenix is you do spot out any units. It's so easy to get those takedowns. These are free kills here for AshenOne so far. But as long as he does this, it's really based on his energy. And now it's just Septimus saying, okay, that was cool. Time for me to go on out with a more brute force method and catch out the probe right there. So good contain from the Marines here. And it's time now to go for the push. Stimpak's gonna go for the all on in, all over. And this is just gonna be a really good attack from our Terran side. Zell's gonna get marked on in just to die. And it really goes to show you're playing it technical here, AshenOne, but it doesn't matter. That's what we were talking about. Phoenixes go on down. And like the fuel to the furnace, those are gonna be birds of prey going on over yet again. 19 probes going down in just one attack. And AshenOne is in a very big hole, to say the least. One set of attack, making the Protoss look oh so terrible. Production right now, gonna be all about these upgrades here. We are gonna get charged a lot as well, courtesy of AshenOne so far, so he really realizes what the situation is. But as he's going for more and more of these Phoenixes, it's still not enough to do really anything against the opposition. Missile turret is set on up, and if you are gonna go for the mass Phoenix approach, you need a lot more of that, and he needed those units, he needed those Phoenixes to stay alive in the first place. So I gotta say for AshenOne, you know, I'm very, in all honesty, skeptical of his approach right now. But he has shown some really good Phoenix control, that's for sure. That's one thing he has got going on. He was able to get some good Graviton beams onto the attack there, be a pest. And I like that he did get the lift off onto many of these SCVs that are building those buildings. But, again, still not enough. Too many Marines right now. Big, massive units. But this time, AshenOne should have a good time in defending. He will have Charge Shot ready to go. And that is going to be a Nexus canceled right there because AshenOne knows, okay, I need more Zealots. I need more Warriors. They need to show everyone who is the last Samurai here. And it's pretty funny because with Charge Shot, they are able to bridge a gap from those guns in the first place. Graviton beams now into play again. And this is what I was talking about for AshenOne this time. Once he gets a good number of these Phoenixes and these Zealots are ready to go out in front, then he can actually go for the brawl. But these Phoenixes still are going them down. Not enough here from AshenOne so far. And the scouting expedition still isn't going to be enough in this instance. They get rid of the Stalkers. It's time to get the lift on up. Zealots though have been warped on in again. And AshenOne is able to beat the opponent back. At what cost though? Still going to be a very big investment here from our Protoss. And this medevac, oh, not even gonna drop those units. No last stand there. But right now, this is AshenOne's time. He was able to get the defense on. And it was a big investment there, but at the very least, he has so many Zealots right now, and he is ready to go on the attack. He catches out Mr. You Got Small PP at a bad time. Septimus has to survive in behind, and SCVs are pulled just to beat the tanks there. A good flow of Zealots so far. There we go with a bit of minus all, trying to get in position, and the Phoenix trying to be pesky, getting in the way of the Brains there. Tit for tat scenario, and it really goes to show that for Septimus, that was his timing there, but it's just not going to be enough. AshenOne right now, beating on back, and this is making me a believer of that there. The charge lots paying up for themselves, but probes are also falling at the same time because Septimus had decided, screw the defense, I'm going on the attack. He goes for the drop. There we go with the Graviton beam again against Marauder, but Zealots are going on down. That's why the army wasn't all there. That's why it just wasn't enough, too much there from Septimus to hold properly. And this time he's going to be getting the hell out of there with the Afterburners in tow. What a game this has been so far, and both sides proving that they are impressive, to say the least, making their builds work in a way. And AshenOne right now with the lead on the worker count. He does have 3 base up and running, but it is still going to be Septimus getting his 3rd base up and running as well. He has a big army lead right now. And how many warp gates does Mr. AshenOne have? He has 6, so he can get 6 zealots, and that's pretty much the show. But at the same time, the scary part here for Mr. Septimus is he does have a +1 ready to go. Battery though hasn't really been rebuilt. What happened there? Natural a while ago had the battery, didn't really have it anymore, and this is gonna be Mr. Septimus. Look to at least reinforce and make sure he's playing defensive because he's a little scared of what happened there in that last fight. In any case, finally, at least we do have our Malaysian side having all the tech that he needs already. Factory has just been a forgotten relic of the past. He's not even bothering to go for those defensive units, and I do want to see here for Septimus at least put a tech lab there, maybe a siege tank, maybe a cyclone could help out in so many ways. But I understand his folly. He's afraid of those graviton beams to get those free pickoffs against expensive units, so it does make a key difference there. So Vikings might be able to help out here there as well to go for the anti-air, but I really understand the Septimus's approach right now. More Marines equals more fun, more victories. And missile turrets, he can't Graviton beam those. So if he does build a few of them into the defensive areas, then at the very least, he will have something to call home. So, you know, there's a lot of debates, that's for sure. A lot of debates in a game like this. And even though I didn't agree initially with what AshenOne has been up to, he has proven a lot through his target opening. Surviving against a Marine onslaught at the very start like that is just impressive control, to say the least. Not giving up, going for the counterattack, and getting the charge lot at the right time. It just might have been a little bit of the instance there that he didn't really get this proper scout or the proper intel, proper call. But hey, he's been doing a really good job at holding, and as we said before, he was able to get the initial lead there onto 3 base. But of course, when you're playing against Terran, if you're pretty much even on the work count and you're not forcing your opponent to use the energy for something else, then he will keep getting mules. He will keep getting a lot of different things. And the income right now for Mr. Septimus is on the high side. This is why, as we said before, the Dark Templar are being a lot more popular in a TVP initially, because it does force that energy for something else. And as we noticed, you know, Marines don't need gas, they need minerals instead. But good, here we go with the Revelation, gonna be into play with the mines, getting the brawl on again. There we go though with Zealots trying to go for the fight, but 90 pros have gone down, and this is just gonna be too much to handle. Septimus will get the brawl on, will get a big ball, and he will get the victory for Malaysia to get the lead. So that's just pretty much it. If you don't have enough AoE against many Marines, it just isn't enough. The Red Guard going on over, just destroying the opposition. And guns better than all for that. Gotta say though, really good show. Really good call from the side of, well, Septimus. He realized the situation from the get-go. And then AshenOne, able to understand, able to bite back with those charge lots. But the score doesn't lie. The result doesn't lie. And with how Septimus played that, basically, was just so impressive that he never let up. He kept at it. And he got the victory there to allow Malaysia the 2-1 lead. So that's that. Personally, I gotta say, as I've been casting StarCraft for a while, I just learned how to basically say what I think, and then move on into try to understand why they're doing that. You know, it's not on me to criticize exactly, say no, this is completely wrong. It's like, okay, it's better to be positive and try to see what the point of this is. You know, what is the point of looking for a setup? What is the point of doing this specific thing. And it's been proven that there is some effectivity there, but that's what just a meta is all about. Sometimes when you have something proven, something tried and tested, that's why you want to go into it. And the fact of the matter is, AshenOne trying something else and going still with it, even in the face of overwhelming numbers. It didn't pan out, couldn't really force out against those Marines, and not enough AoE to wrap things up. Good call though with the charge slot stats for sure, but Septimus with a very, very well-deserved victory, and this basically gives Malaysia right now that 2-1 lead, and we are looking at a pretty close series so far, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm pretty happy about this. This is gonna be going the long haul. AshenOne though fallen yet again, and hopefully he can bounce back if Vietnam can make it to the grand finals. But that's a win on the side of Septimus. He gets one more for Malaysia, and we'll confirm it with some tokens here. As there you go, Septimus with another W on the board. We are gonna get into a PvP next between Inquisitor and Zheng. Stay tuned and stick around. This is the SEA Southeast Asian League Week 2, Day 2, lower brackets, as well as the grand finals later on.